who's excited for Ace of Cups?
I thank the Ace of Cups because they changed feminism in a way by being women who came together.
Hey, New York Reelers, welcome back to another new episode. You will be meeting Ace of Cups, one of the first American all-female rock bands formed in San Francisco in 1967. They have shared the stage with Jimi Hendrix, Jefferson Airplane, the Grateful Dead, Santana, and the band.
That's Mary Ellen playing with her brother, Tora,
Oh my
and
God.
me.
I love your answer.
And then like our album inserts, these are all from our old Ace of Cups scrapbooks, little all kinds of stuff. So, and then the other side.
You all have pretty handwritings.
No, that's not true.
This is New York Reel. I'm Olive. Today, my guests are the legendary 1960s band Ace of Cups. And 3 members here with me right now, and we're going to have a great conversation. And the 4th one will join in a second. Hello, Diane, Denise. Hello, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Olive.
Hello.
So I was there on Tuesday at the Mercury Lounge, and oh my God, congratulations on such a wonderful show in New York City.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great night.
What are the differences between your pre-show routine in the 60s and in 2019?
That isn't any different than back then. We did a circle and did a little prayer before coming on stage.
Wow.
Did we do that back then?
Yes, we did.
I don't
We
remember
did.
that.
Yeah, we had
We
a
did.
prayer that it...
That's what the difference is.
Yes, that's one difference. Yeah.
Yes, blessed be the Ace of Cups, and overflow and fill the world with music, and that was our prayer that we did then.
And do you warm up before the show together?
We do vocal warm-ups, and we've been doing that together. We have a really wonderful vocal coach who gave us something on the phone, a little
Warm-up
put in a
tape.
warm-up mix,
Yeah.
and so we do it before we sing. We do it
In the car.
in the car. We do it anywhere we can, just to kind of loosen up our voices. Yeah.
Now that you're on the road again, are you excited to see places, different places? You all traveled a lot.
Oh, yeah. I haven't traveled a lot. I mean, I think Denise is very well traveled, but going up and down Northern California was, in the 60s, is what we did the most. We went as far north as Canada and Seattle with the Jefferson Airplane, and as far east as Chicago for a blues gig, which was really great. But we didn't do too many traveling around then. And we're starting to travel now. It's pretty cool. There's a lot more things going on now to play at, like festivals and stuff like that.
The thing about touring and traveling is you are in a city and there are all kinds of things you want to do and no time to do, most of it. So it makes you like get a taste of different places that you would like to come back to. So, I'm hoping we can come back to New York with a little more leisure pace, so we can, like, I really want to go to Ellis Island. I want to look up the immigration of real ancestors, all kinds, there's all kinds of places I want to go here. Yeah.
My first trip to New York was in October, for 5 days, and Central Park was still my I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's different every time and different time of the day.
And I want to go in the snow. I bought these special boots so that I can go in the snow in Central Park. And
You all seem to be very excited about the snow.
When I call this sunny day.
Oh my gosh, we brought the sun with us for,
Oh,
You
yeah.
totally
until
did.
now. And so that was great too.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't like heavily snowing, but just like right now, there's like about an inch or two of snow outside, and
It's so beautiful with the white.
beautiful, gorgeous.
Earlier we were saying, let's talk about the makeup on stage. in 1960s, like I imagine in the summer it's all sweaty. Like, do you guys wear makeup?
We
back
never
then?
wore makeup.
Except for me.
Yeah, Lady
I was
Di.
the only one.
Lady Di, but we weren't even wearing lipstick because we were from, more of the hip lifestyle, which was women
Natural.
were going natural, braless, makeupless. And then what happened? Like now everybody's doing the other thing. Lots of bras. And what goes in the bra. It's changing.
Oh my God, you're so
You know what I
right.
mean? It was like, I thought the world was going to be different. I thought it was all going to be like, tonka tonka.
Yeah, I think like bras are actually myths, right? They just want to sell the product.
Oh yeah, and 4-inch heels. We never wore high heels, and we always dressed the way we wanted to.
I
At
can't
the
do
Fillmore Avalon, we never thought about it. Did you guys remember? Well, that Lady Di did. She always looked good. She's just that way, right?
Not just a clothes freak, I can't help myself. So yeah, I bought those heels just for fun. These silver boots that after the gig at the Mercury Lounge, we went across the street to the restaurant, and I put on these big silver boots. I don't know. It's
look great
just
in
for
them.
fun, and that's what I do. Clothing is for fun.
Yeah. And we told her that at Macy's, those boots are calling to you, Diane.
I spotted them first.
Yeah. But Denise and I always would trade clothes.
Yeah.
And I'm taller than Denise, and now we're kind of changing, and I'm shrinking, and she's like thinner, so we could still trade, right?
Yes, we could.
But we did. We'd trade little clothes, and it was tights and beads, and it was a little different
Little
feel.
shifts,
Yeah.
things like that. I mean, one of the things that we had to think of when we first started was, what do you wear on stage if people are going to be able to kind of basically look up your skirt or your dress? I mean, what do you wear? Like, what does a drummer wear?
Right.
If she doesn't want to be just showing her underwear. So it was like because we didn't know, and there were no women playing that we'd ever seen playing instruments. So we kind of had to figure out what was comfortable to play in, and what worked for the views that people were going to have if you didn't. If that mattered,
wear shorts.
Yeah, I know something that you felt like, yeah, that's gonna work, and that you can really play it,
It's not mini skirts.
Yeah.
I really love that you guys did not just follow some role models, and you have to define it by yourself.
Right. That was completely true.
From forming a band and writing. And whose idea is it to do an all-girls band?
Well, I don't think it was anybody's idea. We were following a muse, and everything was fomenting and happening in the Haight-Ashbury at the time. And I think there was no accident here. We came together, and we weren't defined by rules like, that's what was happening. Like, you could play. Oh, and yeah, that sounds good. Oh, okay. And then hearing songs from each other like, okay, we can do that. I was starting with blues because that's an easy way to learn any of those instruments for me. And then moving on from that, the melody and the singing together. Yeah, I mean, it was a wonderful opening time for all of us,
So I was the last one to meet everybody. They had already started playing together. I met Mary Ellen at Blue Cheer's house on New Year's Eve, 1966, turning into 67. And Mary Ellen said to me, after we kind of played for a while, we met and jammed, she said, well, I'm with some women, we're starting an all-girl band. You should come and, come over. You've got to come over. And so at that point, they already were at least saying those words, all-girl band. But I had never even thought of that.
Oh, wow.
You know, that was something that was like way outside my reality. And, you know, my first thought was like, that sounds weird. It's like, what? But then I was curious. So I said, I have to just go check this out, you know. So.
And that was after the Merry Prankster.
Yeah, after the Merry Pranksters, and I'd already been in some other bands. The most recent one was a band called Luminous Marsh Gas that turned into Moby Grape. Most of those guys went on to be Moby Grape, but at that, so I'd always played with guys. You know, I'd been the only woman in bands with guys.
You know, what about Diane?
Well, I had played with, you know, just sitting in with a lot of different bands. But this one particular band, one night I was there waiting to sit in, and the drummer passed out because he took too many bennies. And so I had to fill in that night. And then I had that gig for a while he went to rehab.
Oh!
So I actually got to be in a band for a while before the Ace of Cups, but, you know, it was kind of a fill-in thing. But Ace of Cups was my first real band, you know.
So who do you think was the first person that said, we're an all-girl band? Where did that come from? Because it sure happened before I got there. Anybody?
Did you
Might have been
audition?
Mary Ellen, because I never thought of it.
No, I did think of it.
Did you?
Before.
Wow.
And it had been in my mind during the hate when I was sitting in with these guys all the time. And I thought of it, God, it would be nice to have other women to play with.
Oh, wow.
And Mary Gannon, when she found me, you know, just playing in this room by myself.
In a commune in the hate.
Yeah, commune in the hate. She saw me and went, oh my gosh. And she goes, she wanted me to come over and meet her other friend on the keyboards that she's been playing with. And she says, let's start an all-girl band. She said that, Mary Gannon, you said, let's start an all-girl band.
Oh.
And she didn't remember that, but...
No, I don't. So, I mean, it was like just, like I said, it was a free-form type of thing. And I don't think there was any, like, structure. And that's why we could become what we did. Because there was nothing like, as you said, there was nobody that we'd ever seen that had done it. So it's like, you know, let's just do it. And it organically grew from there.
So when I was a kid, I was in the San Francisco Children's Opera Company, which was like operettas. It's a really amazing company. But I also went to the summer camp, the girls' summer camp. And all summer long, we lived outside under the redwoods in the Santa Cruz Mountains. All summer long, we sang in we had like choral groups. That was part of what we did. And so, you know, I think both of those experiences really primed me for singing harmonies and loving harmonies the way that I do, and
Backups.
just that joy that you get when you share voices and different harmonic structures with other people, and particularly because that was a girls' camp, and I got to do that with women, with young women.
I really liked when I heard how you guys had different parts on Tuesday, and it was such a surprise. Like, I'm like, oh, who's singing? Who's singing? And you all sing. What? I forgot the name of the song, but you have like equal parts on one song and go back and forth. I was like,
yes,
oh.
right. That's on the road again.
Yeah.
On the road. I like it. It's very exciting feel.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to talk about the record. So this time around, 50 years later, you are recording an album, studio album, for the first time. And was it how you expected? Which songs are easy to do and which ones are tough? What was the experience
Well, nothing
like?
was easy because we hadn't done it before this way, so it's all new, brand new, and just going into this environment of putting on the headphones, just in the space at the moment. It was just different than being on stage, completely different, recording. So, anything you want to add to that?
And different from when it was in the 60s when we recorded backup singing for Airplane or Nick Gravenitis. It was like 1 or 2 takes, all around one mic, sometimes in a tiny little booth, or I can remember with the Airplane in the room, but still one mic hanging. There still might be that one mic hanging, but you are alone.
Right.
And then the next person comes in and puts a harmony on that. There's not like just that one take and that, or two takes. It's quite more extensive. The whole recording thing is way different now. Yeah.
And how long does it take usually to finish a song? Or how long has the whole recording?
The album that's out now is just maybe half of what we're doing. We'll have another double vinyl out in about a year. That is probably 3/4 done now. And then we have more songs we still want to record. So as long as George Bear Wallace, who is our record label owner and amazing supporter, and this project, of course, would not exist without him, as long as he loves the material that we're bringing forth, then we'll get to record. And as long as our producer, Dan Shea, can stand to work with us.
Didn't make all
but we have a lot of material. We all write, and we have a lot of material from then. I think we made that little list on our old website. I think we had like 80 songs on our list.
Whoa!
That were original. We only pretty much, the few cover tunes we ever did are just maybe a handful, maybe 3, 4, and the rest were all of our own songs. So, and then we've been writing since then.
And I'm sure you'll have more inspiration.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference about this project, I think, is like a lot of the bands from then, especially bands that had a hit or so,
Yes.
including Moby Grape and bands like that, they do a reissue, or Buffalo Springfield, or that Sup with Camel. So they do a reissue album. They get their old material and do it again in the nice studio and it cleaned up, right? But this isn't what this project is. We've all brought new things or done the old songs in a whole different way. So that's really been the creative process is alive and well. Let's put it that
So
way.
it's almost like you're keeping the lyrics, the melodies, and the rest you just run with it and do what feels right.
Well, and with Dan,
With old songs.
the producer adds things sometimes. You rework a bridge. There's all kinds of things that are happening. But what you said is true. A lot of times you start with the original lyrics and melody, and then it goes a whole nother place, like Pretty Boy on the album. It's like an old song. You can hear it on that first album, It's Bad For You, But Buy It, just right from the Fillmore, live, funky, and a lot of different sounds, but it's good. But now on the album, it's really good.
Oh!
It's like got a whole new feeling to it.
I haven't
Modern.
heard the original version of that.
You hear one and then hear the new one, and you can see the comparison of
Yeah.
I really like the little tricks. You would slow down a tempo, and my emotion was like, that's right, that's how I'm feeling. From the listener point of view, it was so satisfying, and then you get back up on the tempo. What do you call that part when you sing the I really like it because you make me feel so good? What that line, what is it called? That is not a chorus.
It's not a what?
That's not a chorus.
No,
it's a
well,
verse.
it's just sort of it's an intro and outro line, just a little lyric, a cappella, a little,
Lyrically,
a little hook, But
I think modern songs need that, right?
that's lovely. I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of modern music. I mean, I love spoken word or rap kind of, hip hop kind of lyric. I love the way the current writers, a lot of them can write. Their lyrics are percussive. I mean, they're almost like drum grooves, where there'll be words that are in triplets, and then and it's just like percussion with the language. And that's inspiring to me, and I've been kind of working with one of my grandson's friends who's been like teaching me and kind of giving me ideas. And we did a jam session in Kauai over Christmas where he came and we just like jammed and recorded stuff. And he was so good, and I'm like, tripping over my words, but going for it, And I mean, to me, there's so much to be learning about what's going on now, and still there's a lot that we bring to the party too. I think from the music that we grew up on. So I'm really interested in a fusion, and I think that's what our producer Dan asked us when we first got together was, do you want to make a nostalgia album, or do you want to make an album that also appeals to listeners of today? Because that's different approaches. Right. And we said we really want to connect with people now who are listening now, and and still keep that through line too.
That was a great first question because you do want to agree with where the starting point is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dance Shay's amazing.
So now we're back with Diane, Denise, Mary, and Mary Ellen.
Yay!
And we are going to be playing this game called The End. So you'll be drawing a card and asking the person to your left a question. How about you first? You read it to us. You're going to be asking Denise.
Okay, Denise.
Yes.
What part of the world do you think I would be the most content living in, and why?
That's a great one.
Wow. So, I'm trying to think of a place that has a combination of good music that you could go enjoy to listen and people to jam with, people to play with, gigs you could, so you would want that. So in that sense, it's kind of like it's got some of the urban, you know, but you love nature and mountains and gardens, you love your plants. So it'd have to be somewhere that combined your love of nature and you love the water with access to fun stuff, because you love that. You love to go to a festival and dance, you know, you love to, you know. So gosh, it might be where you live.
I really was thinking
You might have totally manifested that, you know.
It's really good.
I think it's where you live in Marin County, because you have Mount Tim, you've got the headlands, you've got everything. The only thing that I would add to that would be like visits to us in Hawaii, because you love the warm ocean, you love the beach, and you know the beach where you live is a little cold, the water's cold, and I think that I think where you live is great, and I think you might add some Kauai into the mix.
Some travel.
Yeah, and some other travel. That's the other thing. Other than where you would live, I think you would really enjoy a few weeks in a bunch of different places. The other place that occurred to me was Berlin. I think you would love Berlin. The urban part, you know, I mean, that is just an amazing city. You know, I think there's parts of Italy that you would love, and certainly Liverpool. I can't wait to go to Liverpool with you. So you wouldn't be necessarily living there. You live where you are, but we like a lot of travel is in the cards. That's what I say.
Yeah, the cards.
Love it. Okay, so I will take the card. And now, Denise, please pick one for Mary.
Okay. There. Mary, what was the experience that connected us the best, and why?
The first one that came to my mind, you know what it's going to be. I have 6 children, and Denise has been at the birth of 5 of them. And so no matter what happens, she saw me at my best, my worst. She had to talk me out of, I'm not doing this. I'm like, you know, like dilated completely. I'm not doing this. It's okay. And at one birth, she was an EMT, and she was just, you know, and the doctor was doing his thing. And I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And she said, no, no, no. And she just guided me through it. So no matter what happens, I'd have to say it was the birth of 5 of the children that Denise was right there. Did you catch any of them? Yeah,
Andrea, because Dr. IU went out for coffee.
Yeah, the doc went out for coffee. She caught the baby. We just take it for granted, but it was pretty, actually, very cool.
That is, I can't think of a cooler answer.
I know. Well, that's a new story. Did you hear that one, Rachel?
I'm not doing this.
Thank you.
Did you come? Was that yours too? I had to be that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, playing music, duet, winning second place in the talent show, and it's all that. That has to be the deepest one.
Thank you. Okay, so please pick one for Marianne.
All right, I'll get the good one, Mary. I'll make it easy for you. When was the last time you cried?
Oh, God.
I think the last time I cried was some situation that happened between my husband Robert and I that I had a hard time adjusting to. And but since then I've grown a lot. And it was just one of those experiences that you have to go through in order to grow. You know, so that was the last time.
It's beautiful. Thank you. So now,
You're going to say,
I haven't cried.
I know.
you know each other so well, you already know the answer or you're thinking what it is, right?
Yeah.
So Mary Ellen, can you please pick one for Diane?
Mm-hmm. How do you think I want to be perceived?
How do I think you want to be perceived?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think you want to be perceived as someone who is caring, giving. I think you're wanting to be perceived as exactly as who you are, and that is what is being perceived, and it's this person who is confident, very talented, and it doesn't feel like she is talented enough.
Very good, Diane.
And then you keep wanting to better yourself,
Yeah.
and those of us who are feeling who you are is exactly what you are putting out there.
Thank you.
Wow. I have to sit down.
That was really good.
Okay, so
Especially that last one.
you ladies make the game so much more fun. I have tears in my eyes. Okay, there are 4 areas that I like to ask my guests to give advice on. So there are 4 of you, so I guess each of you can answer one of them. So they are health, wealth, love, and happiness. Who would like to take on a health tip?
Well, I think it's all of those: health, wealth, happiness, all of that. As my first was a lyric that I just started working on. It's use less, give more. Use less, give more. And then particularly in terms of health, but that impacts everything else, is don't sit in chairs, live on the floor. If you can, squat, which is I have a whole website about squatting, but at least live on the floor and don't sit in chairs anytime you can possibly do that. Wow. Keep you fluid for your life.
I love it. I think squatting is really good for you.
Squatting
We
is
need to
the best.
fold and open up.
Yeah.
I only learned it last year. Okay, and so that's health. Wealth?
Wealth. I found out that just through living that when I was very poor and was kind of struggling with just making ends meet, that I would find myself sometimes in the woods or on the hillside where there was nothing that I needed to have at that point, and that I realized too that if when people are down and out or even homeless or anything, if they can just find that place inside of themselves, and that is the wealth of living, is to find your connection with the eternal universe, and that you're a part of it, and that is always with you. And if you're poor, if you're down and out, connect to that, and because you are a beautiful being, and that is the wealth in life that has been given to us.
So we can always feel wealthy.
That it's not money, it's not what you own, but your inner connection to your source.
You want to add something? Well, yeah. Oh, you don't.
So love and happiness. Who wants to give us some tips?
Happiness runs in a circular motion. Love is a little boat upon the sea. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can be happy if you let yourself be. Donovan. I mean, really, it is. It's not. It's just what. It's what Diane said and what Denise said. You got to step up and not go for all the easy ways out. You got to do the work, and we've been taught that in Aikido. We've been taught that in our churches. It's not easy, but the rewards are great.
Thank you.
Love. Love is, I think, what makes the universe work. It's just, that's what makes the universe work in the right way. So, all humans, all beings have time suffering. So to be kind, I think kindness is a big part of love. And that's just how I look at it. It's all there.
And I hope the Ace of Cups lyrics, and I know in my heart, so many of our songs say that. Like the song The Well that we sing that Denise wrote, that one of the Grateful Dead sings on that album, The Well. The line is, be kind. How does it lead into that line?
Time to take it easy.
Time to take it easy and unwind.
Time to take it easy and be kind.
And be kind.
Thank you very much for all the great answers and for being present with all of us here. And we all experienced something with you. And congratulations on the new album. And can't wait for the next one. It's a double, right, already? And have fun on the road. And we'd love to see you back in New York again.
We want to come back. We totally want to come back.
We have a gift for you on the couch.
We have a gift for you.
Oh! Oh my God!
Want us to hold it? You want us to hold the camera? Hold it.
All right. Oh my God, I love it.
It looked nice on you.
Olive Ace Cup t-shirt.
Whoa!
Olive is a righteous sister. She's a solid backbone twister. Olive is a righteous sister. She's a solid backbone twister. She's doing the backbone hully gully. Oh yeah. Good Lord, ain't we lucky now? She's doing the backbone hully gully. Hully gully. Good Lord, ain't we lucky now? Good Lord, ain't we lucky now? Good Lord, ain't we lucky now?
Where was that note? Where was that note?
Thank you so much.
Solid. That was very
I love all of you. Thank you so much.
Great. Good luck on your show and everything.
Yeah.
You know how many people are going to be inspired to start a band?
All right. We hope they're all at least over 50. No.